Good day. Smythe is expecting you. If you'd just like to pop that bowler hat back on. No time to waste. Please make your way to the office.
Greetings. I trust you're well rested. I'm sorry to hear that. Please take a restorative supplement from the desk drawer. You need to be in good health, as we have a lot of work ahead of us. If only. Such endeavors are cursed with being thankless, arduous, and enduring. As I'm sure you've witnessed firsthand, the situation out there has changed. There's a feverish tension, an emergent frenzy. Decisive action is imperative. Truth be told, the situation on the ground is, and has been, unacceptable for far too long. My proximity to such savagery has been a constant, personal source of frustration. Simply put, there are extensive belligerent parties that have been distastefully ignored, tolerated for expediency. No more. Circumstances have evolved, and so should we. This compromise was the result of pragmatism, not will. The time has come for a transition towards a permanent arrangement. While it is true we emerged as the strongest immediate power, London sustained heavy bombardment. The situation on the ground was, and still is, desperate. We could not afford to make ourselves victims of the chaos. The reality is that the government has limited resources. There simply isn't any margin for error. We could not afford to undermine our strategic position. The threat was existential. The situation was more precarious than our current position implies. A great proportion of the government infrastructure was completely obliterated. To survive such conditions in the immediate aftermath consumed a great many precious resources and lives. Investing everything on a complex military maneuver would have represented a huge risk. Taking unacceptable risks for uncertain rewards is reckless and poorly considered. What a reductive opinion. By allowing the chaotic situation to burn out, we kept our strength. Inevitably, these hoodlums consolidated into bases of power, yet because we hadn't expended our strength in pointless street fighting, we maintained our scientific and intelligence networks. These have been critical in influencing diplomatic relations between factions. I do. Several in action. I am to take direct control of the Lord Chancellorship. For that, I need a royal decree. We want the transfer of power to look legitimate. The salient details are in the dossier on my desk. Call if you have any questions. Be seeing you. is integral to our plans. You'll need her to sign a royal appointment. If she chooses to value pedantry over my objectives, avail her of the hollow disk I've given you. Any further questions? She's having an affair, and with one of those tenants folk at that. The gentry would find that obscene. Good. The effete Baron Winthrop may possess the demeanor of someone with class, but don't be mistaken. This pompous, precious pig has all the squealing proclivities of a hedonist. He's a bottomless void of vulgar pleasure, yet you, must work with him. Convince him to stamp the royal appointment with the ceremonial seal. Any further questions?
Tell me if you see any visions.
As is often the case with those obsessed with excess, it is his weakness. You can easily bribe him with any form of vulgar extravagance. Conversely, if anything were to threaten his access to such joys, his whole world would crumble. I trust your judgment, but my expectation is that seal is applied with zeal. I may not care for the Baron's tastes, but his favor would come cheaper than his subjugation. Normally, I'd say Honeysett is a valued asset, but this reliance, in reality, has evolved into conceit. He's trying to consolidate his own influence over the judiciary, an unacceptable outcome. He has a protégé, Cecily Sugar. Get rid of her. She's exuberant, an iconoclast. Our project requires guile and discipline. Send her back to Kingdom Come at one of her debates. Honeysett will quickly fall into line. On the contrary, the device may be loud, but the blast concentrated. Regardless, the audience, to be frank, are expendable. Debtors sympathetic to the cause, or creditors with bounteous assets. He'd never pursue her, but he's deeply infatuated with her. He seeks to have her intimately in his odd little orbit, dependent and thankful of his patronage. If you deny him of whatever future exists in his head, you show him that we control his destiny, not him. Besides, I'm saving him the inevitable torment of abandonment. Good. I'm glad. Be seeing you.
What's that smell? Oh, it's